morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country, and in this case, the world, are talking about. Our top story for you today: Donald Trump announces $20 billion investment from an Emirati billionaire.
As well, UAE and Syria begin a new era of cooperation.
Kanye West was having dinner in Atlantis, the Royal, last night with his wife Bianca.
And since we are getting to a Coldplay weekend, Coldplay fans drive hotel prices sky high in Abu Dhabi.
And we're also talking about a big event coming to Dubai Opera this weekend. And later on in the show, we'll be joined by Marina, a body-centered somatic healing specialist. And we're going to learn how to heal from within with a deep dive into what somatic healing truly is. Do stay tuned for that. She'll be joining us at about 8:50 this morning.
And in today's rapid weather report, it's partly cloudy with highs of 24 degrees, and it's getting really cold and chilly. I love the weather.
It's definitely getting really cold and chilly. It's something that we talk about daily. You know what this is not? It is not I want to go work out and go to the gym weather, which is surprising because my gym is January.
The New Year resolution for sure. Oh, I'm going to be working out and eating healthy. January 1st, the amount of TikToks that I saw, like, oh yeah, coming up. That's when I'm going to start my healthy journey.
I kind of like, I love it for all. We had a yoga class and the instructor like 6 up and then logged through it like we died. It was not it because everyone's taken so much time off over the holidays. But New Year's resolutions, I heard this statistic which kind of made my heart fail a little bit. Apparently 80% of them fail.
Of course, I'm sorry, because like most of the resolutions are I'm gonna eat healthy and I'm gonna work out, right? And then you don't jump off the ladder to like, the 8th floor. You climb the ladder, right?
Yeah.
And people go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut everything off, no carbs, no fat food, no junk food, nothing. And it's like, but the day before they were having probably a lot of junk food.
This is the thing, and it's like, it's in your... The thing is, the junk is still sitting in your house. So I kind of came like new week. By the way, last week didn't count. I feel like this is the first real week of January because it was only half a week and we had half a week off. So this is the first week of real January that the January blues could possibly begin, because last week was a half work week. Didn't count.
But again, let's be real, right? It's not about, even if you have like junk food and everything, and even if it was like, a shadow to proper January, still, like you will need to be able to see the chocolate in front of you and have self-control and not take it.
Yeah, it's too hard. It's impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever can have like chocolate and food in the house in January and like not eat it is a next level of adulting that I would like to realize at some point in 2025.
Jealous of you.
Let's jump into our top story of the day. Breaking across the world, putting Dubai on a pedestal. Donald Trump announces $20 billion US investment from an Emirati billionaire. Dollars, not dirhams. Donald Trump has not yet taken office, but he's already welcoming investments from around the world. Last night, Dubai took the main stage at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, where Trump welcomed the investment from one of the Middle East's, as he says, most respected business people. Of course, we're talking about Hussein Sajrani, who is the founder and CEO of Dhabi Properties, who himself has a net worth of $1.5 billion.
Sajrani took to the stage last night and said, we're planning to invest $20 billion and even more than that, if the opportunity in the market allows us. Now, the investment is focused on the booming data center industry in the United States.
So all of this money going towards data centers. Now, if you've been following Trump's move since his election, you'll have seen viral videos of him partying at Mar-a-Lago on New Year's Eve, and Elon Musk was there. Also, Hussein Sajrani was there, and he shared a photo proving, I guess, that they're firm friends, and this was ahead of the investment announcement. So Dhabi actually owns the only Trump-branded golf course in Dubai and the Middle East, but this is a major key investment. Trump introduced him as one of the most respected business people in the Middle East, and then he took the floor. And this is eyes around the world as to kind of what will come after Trump's election and what this can mean for the Middle East. And I think it's just an amazing story for Dubai, because he had a moment to kind of shine a light on the amazing things Dhabi have done. So we think of them as an amazing UAE developer, when in fact they actually operate in 20 countries around the world. I didn't know this before. They've delivered 45,000 units and they've got 45,000 more in the pipeline, which just goes to show how much they're working on. And they want to put more into the US market if the market allows it, but this is like the initial investment.
That is true. And, ever since Donald Trump was elected as president for the United States, everyone knew that more business would come because he is a businessman. He does not think, yes, he's in politics and everything, but as I mentioned earlier, he's a businessman and he has a lot of properties around. And we even saw his son Eric Trump, I believe, come to the UAE many times and as well invest a lot in the UAE. And the market is just going to keep on blooming and blooming ever since. And he loves the Middle East. We've seen him around and he is not ashamed of even voicing his opinions regarding the Middle East and everything. And that would be really cool. I'm very excited for him to actually get into office. And I would want to see all of the investments he will be implementing in the UAE and around the Middle East.
So let's see about that. I mean, is it Eric Trump or is it another son? I'm sure you've seen this, the TikTok that went viral.
Oh my God.
And it's like, I love my briefcase.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I like my, it goes like, I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now.
It's so cute. It literally got stuck in my head. Anyway, big news putting Dubai on the world stage. This is just one of so many amazing UAE stories that we have no doubt in the next 5, 10, 15 years, the world is going to hear so much more about the amazing things people, companies and families are doing in the UAE, and this is just one of them. Let's move into our next story.
Moving to our next story, UAE and Syria begin a new era of cooperation. Now, the UAE and Syria are taking bold steps towards fostering a new era of cooperation, and in a move that signals a fresh chapter in diplomatic relations, officials from the United Arab Emirates and Syria have met to discuss mutual interests, focusing on regional stability and economic collaboration.
So amazing to see His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Syria's transitional government.
Well, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah reaffirmed the UAE's steadfast stance in supporting Syria's independence and sovereignty over its territory. Now, he also emphasized that the UAE's solidarity with the Syrian people and its support for all regional and international efforts to fulfill their aspirations for security, peace, stability, and a dignified life. And I'm Syrian, and Syrian who lives in the UAE would be so happy because there were a lot of sanctions imposed on Syria before when Bashar al-Assad ruled us. But after the fall down of Bashar al-Assad, a lot of changes have been implemented. And the biggest news that was all over my social media, because I follow, of course, a lot of Syrians, a lot of my friends are Syrians, was the flight that landed in Sharjah. And that is beautiful because a lot of flights were kind of like, they were not there, getting to Syria, the Syrian air. And of course, according to Sana news agency, which is a Syrian news agency, the plane was carrying 145 Syrian citizens. And as well, it landed at 3:35 p.m. And no wonder it was like my stories were like, oh my God, the plane landed in the UAE, and it's the first plane that landed from Syria to the UAE, which is
commercial airlines flight. How does it feel now, I guess, to see I guess at a government level, government making such strides in terms of looking outside of Syria to foster relationships, but also just on a personal level that Syria is going to be much more open to the world, hopefully. Does it feel like that?
It feels like it's not only me, I'm speaking on the behalf of every Syrian. It feels like, Syria will get a chance because the war has been going on for 13 years, right? Ever since 2011 and till now, they never really got a break. The economy got really bad and people were really dying, right? And we didn't know what was going on. So it was kind of like a lot of chaos of people who didn't know if they should stand with the regime of Bashar al-Assad or not.
Right.
However, after the fall down of Bashar al-Assad and seeing how these sanctions are kind of not really, they're there, but they're kind of just frozen right now. That's
right.
This is like the case politically. However, with His Highness meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Syria, and it kind of gives hope to everyone. So I don't know, I just hope everything gets way better very soon.
Hope is still there. That's exactly what we want to hear. Okay, let's move on. We're going to bring things a little bit closer to home last night with a world celebrity spotted at Atlantis, the Royal. Kanye West, no less. So while you were cozying up into long January, Kanye West was out living his best life, and he was rolling out the big celebrations once again to celebrate his wife Bianca Censori's birthday.
So it looks like Bianca's mom and dad are in Dubai too, and a group were spotted at swanky rooftop restaurant at Atlantis, the Royal, where Bianca was gifted the biggest bouquet of roses at dinner. Now this was after they had her real birthday celebration in the Maldives, accompanied by celeb guests including Penelope Cruz.
So for those who need a little recap, Kanye was divorced from Kim Kardashian 4 years ago. The pair share 4 children together. Kanye was has reportedly been spending less time in the States due to some legal troubles and also socially ostracized following some infamous rants. He seems to be a big fan of Dubai. He's popped in and out of here. Last time was the last time he was here, he was in the same hotel in Nobu restaurant, like without his shoes, and then they were swapping shoes or something. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, for his Yeezys launch, maybe?
No, okay, I don't know.
I mean, I really don't know as well. But one thing that I know for sure is that a lot of celebrities are actually coming to Dubai. And Kanye West, he's iconic. I love his rants. I mean, yes, a lot of people might not agree with me on that, but I just like, I think they're iconic. They're kind of like funny to maybe all of us, but maybe not.
I don't know. I feel like it shows that he actually has some mental health problems, so I actually don't really.
Really?
I feel like when someone put things that are so kind of, it's like spewing out so many kind of wild views, I feel like maybe that person needs some kind of attention at home.
For sure. But you know what? One thing I noticed is that when he's around Bianca, he is kind of like a changed, different man in a way, which I really love that for him. And I love as well that celebrities are all collectively coming to Dubai, the UAE, and it's like, you know, it's like a regular thing. Like, I was in the Palm and I saw Kanye West, or I was in the Palm and I saw, William.
Will.i.am, because he's on our Instagram stories last night with Elijah Long, who's this like US producer next to Will.i.am, and they're just hanging out in Dubai. But you know, one of the videos shows someone, I think, dining at the same restaurant took the video, and you could hear someone say, "Would you go up and ask for a pic?" And I feel like Kanye has that status that I wouldn't go. I would just leave him in
alone.
His Kanye aura,
in his
because I feel like celebrities sometimes have this. They need to kind of respond and be nice and things like that. But I think Kanye is just not going to give you the time because he doesn't need to. I have no expectations on celebrities to do that. And I feel like Kanye is himself and he's not in the mood, you're going to hear about it. So I just, of all the celebrities.
You'd avoid Kanye.
Would you?
No, I would, because I have a feeling that maybe the press somewhere else is different than here. So I feel like celebrities do come here because like it gives them like a calming sense of like privacy.
Right.
And, you know, there's not like a press like, hey, what happened to your ex? You know what I mean?
Sure.
That kind of like thing. That's what I would assume. So I would go and just like try my luck. I don't know. Why not?
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring it to what you can do this weekend. Super excited about this one. We're talking about Global Waltzing from Johann Strauss to the company of Hans Zimmer at Dubai Opera. Imagine a night where the elegance of Johann Strauss meets the cinematic magic of Hans Zimmer. This event at Dubai Opera is an experience like no other, happening this weekend, January 10th and 11th, and tickets are selling fast.
Well, Alexei Eastman and the Limitless Orchestra will bring Scott's iconic waltz and Zimmer's unforgettable film music together in a way you've never heard before. And here's the real highlight. Hans Zimmer himself will be there as a special guest. Yes, the man behind the soundtracks of Inception, The Dark Knight, and Gladiator will be there.
A night to remember. Along with Ekaterina Shekelhova's incredible voice, this world premiere is an experience you will not want to miss. It is a night of musical history at one of the most iconic venues in Dubai. Venues. So book your tickets at Dubai Opera website right now while you still can. Speaking of tickets, let's talk about Coldplay once again. We're 3 days away, and what happened on the internet last night, I cannot believe I woke up to this morning without having that information.
I am going crazy. I cannot believe that I will be witnessing Coldplay live finally, because Coldplay fans not only went insane when the tickets went to pre-sale, but as well they drove hotel prices sky high in Abu Dhabi. So hotel bookings in Abu Dhabi have surged in anticipation of Coldplay's tour. According to Ease My Trip, bookings are up by as much as 300%, and fans, of course, flock to the UAE for the highly anticipated concerts with Coldplay's for concerts that are set to attract up to 160,000. Can you imagine the number of people? Now, Abu Dhabi is seeing a boost in both tourism and luxury hospitality.
Okay, so if we look at hotels specifically, Ritz-Carlton Abu Dhabi, for example, is one of the top destinations. Room prices are starting at 4,723 dirham, but that's if you want the ultimate style. Now, if you move to the Royal Suite, you would pay 70,000 a night. I mean, life is for living, people.
Oh my God,
living.
This is insane. Now, this high demand is not just local, it's driven by fans flying in from across the globe, eager to experience the unforgettable performances. Now, as well, the growing interest in music events in the UAE has been also reflected in industry projections. By the way, I want to say one thing, is that I understand the hype. I really do, because Coldplay are not going to be performing. This is their last tour. And that's why people are going wild. This is going to be their last tour. And
Ever?
Yes.
No, I thought they said they were going to retire from making new music.
But this will be their last tour.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh.
And that's why people are going really wild and crazy, and they will as well stop making music.
But what was the difference between stopping making music? Because I thought they specifically said they weren't going to make music anymore, but that wouldn't necessarily mean that they wouldn't perform anymore. Or maybe it was they wouldn't perform and
exactly. They'll perform,
they're not going to perform, but they are going to make music.
Yes. But they'll be performing maybe small performances, but as a tour, this will be their last tour. They're not going to be touring anymore. And that's why people are really going wild. And that's why it's a 4-day concert, because all I'm thinking about is, oh my God, I don't want them to be tired from the day of them performing and then they're performing again. I don't know.
I also think that they just managed to reach such a wild audience. You could have a 6-year-old in the car on the way to work jamming to Coldplay as much as a 60-year-old. They've hit the TikTok generation. They're like my generation, whatever I am, like a millennial, the older generation above us, like they're a rock / pop / a bit of like K-pop song. But like their songs touch so many people in such a fun anthem-like way that like it's just an amazing gig that people want to go to. And by the way, what we mentioned at the beginning, more tickets were released last night. And I was asleep.
Oh my God.
I was asleep.
Oh my God. Wait.
They were selling, I think, for the regular prices, correct me if I'm wrong, for the certain tickets that they had available. Why is this Ticketmaster, what is happening? Because it was like tickets on sale and then you get into the queue and then you don't get into the queue and now there's more tickets on sale. Like, you've literally been teasing, and for the people who didn't get tickets, it's been the ultimate tease. And then there's so many resellers teasing me with their prices, but I don't know if they're real and I'm not risking it.
By the way, you can still get, I'll send you a link. There's still a queue. I just opened Ticketmaster and you can, yes, I'll send you a link.
No, there's not.
Yes, for Jan 11, I'll send it to you right now because I literally just saw it.
That's ridiculous if there's still tickets. Saturday.
You can join, yes.
My brother's in town, can't go on Saturday.
Why?
Is today Thursday? Can I go tonight? Can I go tonight?
Oh no, today's Wednesday.
Okay, join the queue. Tickets are now on sale. That is ridiculous. If you want to get Coldplay tickets, join the queue. Join the queue. Okay.
Just don't go to the link right now, cases in it. And by the way, like, people are selling tickets. There's a TikTok girl that I saw this morning.
Right.
She's talking Arabic and she's saying that she is selling her ticket for 3,000 dirhams. I was like, what?
3,000?
3,000? Like, seriously? Come on.
But people are complaining about the price tickets, but it depends which one she's selling. Now, if she's selling your basic ticket, that's obviously overpriced.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
It's a standing GA ticket that she's selling.
It's a standing general admission ticket, and she is selling it for 3,000. And I was like, why would you do that to someone?
I'm number 1 in the queue.
Oh my God! It's almost your turn.
Okay, no way.
Please, I just want you to go through. I really want to know how much would the ticket be if it's the same pricing or not.
Sorry, tickets. I knew that was going to happen. Tickets are not currently available. That was way too good to be true for the show.
Sorry.
8:55. If you have better luck than me getting tickets, please tag us on Instagram. I'd love to see your stories and live through you. let's bring it home to something that we're actually super excited to talk about. We're going to talk about healing from within, a deep dive into somatic healing practices. And we have an expert joining us on the show after this very short break. Do stay tuned. Good morning and welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is Marina Savic, a body-centered and somatic healing specialist who helps people release stress and heal from trauma by reconnecting with their bodies through somatic healing practices. Here to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Good morning to you and good morning to everybody who is with us this morning. So we had a chat before and now before this show, and I tell to ladies, I hope so this subject today not going to be too much for this morning, but I think so it's a good really for the beginning and the start of the year.
So
thank
true.
you so much.
And we're so excited to dive in.
I mean, I love it because everyone, of course, I hope it's on everyone's New Year resolution is to heal from any trauma that's there. But for those who are unfamiliar, how would you explain somatic healing to them?
So it's a very good question. If I can just briefly say before I tap into that, actually how that came to me. And I believe will be interesting for all of us, right? Because I think so when we have some certain triggers in life, some very difficult points in our life or losses, this is the moment that sometimes something big happen within ourselves, with our bodies, where we start questioning our life and our behavior and actually how we've been through the life. So before 7 years when I lost my dad, that was actually triggered for me. And then my dad lost his life from the lung cancer. And after 3 months, my brother also got diagnosed with the Cushing syndrome, because Cushing syndrome is starting from the cortisol, which is a hormone of stress. And after 2 years as well, was diagnosed from the lung cancer of the second stage. Luckily everything was removed. But at that time when I lost my dad, that triggered, that loss, that grief actually triggered me to turn back and have a vision of my life, of myself, of what I did until that day. So who am I actually? So I really started to, I always been seeker since childhood. I always liked to to ask those deep questions. I always ask my mom, how we are existing, how this came. So what is there? So she told me, Marina, when you grow up, you will find people who will answer those questions. So yes, we are those ones who can really answer to each other those questions. And we are those ones who can make ourselves sick, or we can heal each other's. So at that time, I started really to explore myself, to question my migraines that I got in my life, like severe migraines, my feelings, insecurities, moments when I just overburn myself, overdoing myself, overgiving myself without feeling comfortable and feeling guilty, saying no to people when it's the moment to stand up for myself. I knew to shake like this. Yes. So all those things that I just go through life, I brought myself to anorexia almost also in one stage of my life, even though coming from the fitness industry for 20 years, I was thinking that I'm doing right things to myself. So when we don't have this perception of ourselves as a whole, right, of our sensations, of our feelings, or our actions and our thoughts, and we are just going through life because we think, oh, this is just how I am. Oh, this is how life it is, right? So this is how I should live. Then we are just going on autopilot. And before a few days, I tell to my client, when we have anxious mind, when we are in chronic stress, we don't have space actually to think clearly. We don't have space to make clear decisions. We are reactive. So my curiosity actually, by working on myself, healing myself, diving into myself, actually brought me people, mentors, studies, intuition, also to really become whole. So.
Wow, what a journey, and we're glad your brother is okay, and so sorry about your dad losing a parent.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your empathy.
It sounds like self-exploration is a really important process for somatic healing, and I wonder for everyone watching today who wants to heal and for ourselves, like what is the first step? It sounds, it sounds like a simple process, but actually, how do you start that process?
It sounds like a simple process. Of course, when we reach some level, everything is simple. But everything that I want to is that we are actually learning to come back to our safety, to create a system and within our bodies and minds also when we want to pursue something. So we can start. With just starting acknowledging what sensations we are feeling at a certain moment. Let's say I'm guest today. So when I was sitting outside, just simple life example, when I was sitting outside, it's very natural for all of us that we have certain, the heart rate up a little bit, right? This is now physical sensation. Oh, my stomach is a little bit in a pain. Something is happening there because now I need to be guest on a TV. It's a responsibility,
sure.
Right? I have responsibility what I'm going to say today, how I'm going to say, and what is happening. What we learned before, that we've been so much judged, right, through life when we make some mistakes, when we say something that may be not appropriate, we've been punished. So our cells, our bodies are very old. Our bodies are very ancient. So our bodies needed thousands of years to develop and to be where we are today. So we carry in ourselves so much memories and so many traumas through life. It's not just from this life, but this is another subject. But I was sitting outside, and because now I have tools, right? I was sitting, I was just grounding myself, I was breathing, I was connecting into my sensations, what I sense, what I feel in this moment, where I feel that in my body. I was breathing into that space, reminding myself that I'm safe to come here and to talk with you and to share this blessing of this subject for all of us, really, and for our humanity. And then also acknowledging what I think. Is it any mental process I'm thinking now, right? And do I remember where I maybe learn these struggles and these contractions? But because now my nervous system already developed this capacity of safety, so very, very fast, I could come back into my safety and feel comfortable to come here and clearly to talk about this subject. So really through somatic healing is really remembering and reminding our nervous system that we are safe to be who we are, that it's safe to express yourself. When you have your needs in your family, in your relationships, on your workstation, your bosses, right, managers, that it's okay to express how you feel and how something makes you feel. And I truly, truly, truly hope and praying that we will have those conversations when I ask you, how are you feeling today? So how many of us asking each other's, how are you actually feeling today?
Wow.
So somatic healing is not just about our emotional body, but is really from, and it means soma, which is from ancient Greece. And they didn't look just on the physical body, right? Because soma means body, but they look on the body as a whole. Mind, our spirit, and our body. So through somatic healing, we are going through all those, and we really, really become whole. So,
speaking of traumas and our bodies, can you explain and maybe as well give examples of how trauma can be stored and visible in the body?
So I don't know, did you hear about Dr. Gabor Mate? I love him so much. So Dr. Gabor Mate says and explains trauma this way. So trauma is not, and how is stored in the body actually. Trauma is not an event that is happening to us. Trauma is what's happening within us in the moment when something happening to us. So it's the same with the stress, right? We people, we have vocabulary, right? We have words to say something, to explain something, right? And we explain everything, oh, I'm so stressful. But what is that stress? So stress is not something that is happening to me right now. It's what is happening within me in this moment when something happening to me. So this is the stress. So this is how trauma also stayed stuck in the body when the moment when we're going to overwhelming experience. Let's say if we grow in very unsettled family that is very critical, and then the parents actually, let's say, by the way, there is no blame for any parents. Parenting is the most valuable and the highest thing that we can experience and most hardest, right? But let's say that parents also didn't grow in a household where emotional expression was valid, where we had this emotional intelligence to recognize that something is going on with us. So imagine the child who doesn't have emotional capacity yet to acknowledge what emotionally is happening with me, and we don't have parents who will actually offer you in the moment of stress or something overwhelming happening, emotional safety, so that our body and our cells can learn that it's okay for me to cry, that it's okay for me to be angry, that it's okay for me now to shout now my anger on a healthy way, and to be healthy emotional communication. So what is happening, child is shut down. We are all different. Can happen that kids, let's say, squeeze stomach or squeeze the neck or the jaw. Let's say could be physical manifestation later on in life. Could be the child learn that it's not okay to express the feelings and the side of anger. And when we grow in life, whenever we have a trigger, when we actually be angry. So I had so much anger when my dad passed, that I wasn't aware. So I had so much anger. Why he left me? I couldn't see him even. So I needed to find and grief and guilt. So I needed really to go into my body to find the places where also I learned that it's not safe for me to feel those emotions, because richness of our human existence is in feeling, in expressing and feeling. So, yeah.
How do we know how connected the mind and the soul is to the physical body? Is there a science that connects them? Or, because we speak before about, stresses can cause things in our lives, like it happened to your brother. We know this.
Yes.
So we try and reduce stress in our lives. But is there like a science that shows that there is a connection?
A lot of scientists today are looking into that subject. So we have a lot of research about PTSD, fibromyalgia, thyroid glands, and all these physical manifestations that today we have especially present in the woman. that is really connected to the way that we believe about ourselves. There is a belief system, that's something that we learn from society as a collective. We learn in our families, through our childhood. So all of that is really connected to, I can say, one energetic imprint that is within us, because emotions are just energy in the motion and they're present all the time, right? Just sometimes we are aware of them, sometimes we are not. But all those things that are obtaining within us is something that guiding our mind. And usually in society, we can see that everything that we witness was like, oh, your mind, you need to be strong. It's the way how you say things to yourself, right? But we actually neglecting the 95% of what is in our bodies, because they say the body is our subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind have much more power than actually our conscious mind. So because it's working much faster than our consciousness. So those energies, belief system, what we believe in about ourselves, what we say, how we perceive life, how we look on life, what we believe about relationships, right, that we deserve. So we can self-sabotage ourselves. Because why? Our body will always try to protect us from something that body didn't learn or didn't learn safety. So I can give one example, let's say, how our body remembers sensations and how we can react to that. Let's say on a 1999, I'm from Serbia, from Belgrade, so it was bombarding in my country. I was 19. So that night, and remember when bombarding started, we stay without electricity. My dad just says, run down. So I was jumping 5-6 stairs to reach down to the basement. So we reached down to the basement, and because my parents were all over the place, right, to help the neighbors, because we didn't know what will be right. So I remember sitting on the bench in complete dark in the smelly basement and shaking like this for 1 hour. So my body, right, I didn't had nobody to offer me safety. So that my nervous system and myself can go maybe easier through that process. So when I came in Dubai, I remember I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, actually plane was crossing our house, and was really crossing so low. So the sound of the plane was very, very high. And in the middle of the night, so I'm sleeping, I jumped. So my body, as a sensories, remember the sound of the planes. I jumped, I wake up my husband, and I say, we need to run out, we need to run. And my husband said, Marina, just breathe. What's happening? It's just plane. So then I realized, wow, I still need to work on this, because we are in a constant alert and we are in a constant survival, and we are in a fight, flight, or freeze level of our nervous system. So we cannot respond to life. We are in a constant protection and survival. So yeah, I'm praying that we will start working on ourselves and tapping slowly, step by step, into our wholeness, into learning to express, really, because this is liberation for us and for our bodies and for our health.
And maybe I feel like what you went through was something extremely traumatic, and although we don't all have similar life experiences, I'm sure we all do have deep subconscious from growing up that we should be potentially trying to heal.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we all have trauma, definitely. There is a traumatization and there is a trauma, but there is no one human. We're not going to be human beings if we don't have some kind of traumas. And you and me, we can grow in the same household, but your nervous system and mine not going to be the same. So you and me, we can go through the same challenges, same experiences, but we not going to respond on the same way to the same occasion. So maybe for you, something that is happening will be very small, nothing, but for me it will be very traumatized.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, according, of course, now to, I've read Sigmund Freud's book, that emotions, stress, anxiety, trauma, all of these things are related to other diseases.
Oh, yes.
So do you think somatic healing can actually heal all of these things and maybe put the actual diseases in remission or in a stagnant mode?
Yeah, I truly believe, because if we go back on the beginning and we start really diving, because if we see in the Western medicine, with all my respect, right, to Western medicine that obviously we need, but I feel that in this time of the consciousness, for us is much easier just to go and to say, oh, I need to fix something. I have so much neck pain. I have palpitations. I don't know, I have stomach issues. I have severe migraines. So let's go, and I need medications. And this is the symptoms that we're working on the surface with something. But we can dive into sensations of when everything started. What is the energy around the actual pain, right? Because let's say I had a migraine. So I got a migraines when I came in Dubai. So this change, this emotional trigger, something emotionally triggered me, right? Of leaving everything, leaving my fitness studio, leaving my animals, leaving my parents, leaving literally everything. And wasn't easy when I came here. So I needed to tap into, and when I went to the neurologist told me, you know what, you're completely healthy. He couldn't find anything. And he told me, Marina, you can go and find the best neurologist in the world, and he will not heal migraine. So only what I can do, I can give you medications. Fair enough, right? So I asked the doctor, did you ever ask your patients about their emotions? How they live their life? When this migraine started, she said, no, we are not trained for that. And this is the moment we can dive into sensations, into actually the memory, right? Implicit memory, not implicit memory, which is in the body, and into our subconscious to see to what is connected actually to this illness, the energy of the illness, sensation of the pain, right? Move that energy. So we have a different tools, right? And it's a blessing. I don't want to say here to claim, oh yes, you can 100% heal.
Right.
But what I can definitely say is when we start working on this way and having an interest actually to take care of ourselves as a whole, and working holistically on ourselves, 100% I am sure. I'm 45, luckily, completely healthy, and I am completely sure that we can support our system and our nervous system to live more freely, to feel more safe, and once we feel more safe, there is a more health, definitely. So it's not everything just workout. It's not everything just healthy food or healthy air. It's something very powerful that is within us that need also our attention in order to support our workout, our food, our breath, and everything else. So,
how are your migraines now?
Good. Migraines are good.
Important.
Yes.
We have gone way over time, so we just have time.
Oh my God.
So we just have time for one more question. For people watching, we're talking about somatic healing. So what simple practice would you recommend for someone who is looking to adopting somatic healing into their daily routine? Is that a thing?
So I will always first say ground yourself. We are in Dubai, so we can always remove our shoes and go in the garden or just on the floor and ground yourself, close your eyes, just breathe into your body and feel the sensations in your body and feel this connection with the ground. So by breathing and just connecting with the ground, we are immediately tapping into the body. We are immediately lowering the brain frequency from the high beta to very low theta or alpha, and we actually can feel safe in our bodies. Also, there is a million exercises, breathing. I'm a breathwork practitioner as well. So I always recommend breathing. Just calm breathing. Let's say we can do this. I love havening exercises, which means you will just offer safety to yourself and cuddle yourself actually from the shoulders down to your elbows and just breathe into your body.
That's right.
Yes. And you can repeat yourself also to your mind, I am safe in this moment. I feel it's safe for me to feel what I feel, because guys, we need only 90 seconds when we start feeling something. To sit, to feel that, to express, it's 90 seconds for us. This feeling to go through, and that's it.
Interesting.
But what we do, we numb ourselves, we suppress,
right,
and we just go in the next chapter. And then we are reactive, we are overreactive, we feel like broken, but we are not broken. So havening is beautiful with the breathing. And also, let's say, putting one hand under the armpit and hugging yourself and just swaying. So swaying on the side to side. It's like when we've been little. right? And our mom hugging us,
Yeah.
right? And swaying us, right? So this is something that our nervous system recognizing that is safe and is soothing exercises. So let's say those simple things, but we can explore much deeper. So yeah.
So beautiful. It's giving me the comfort of child's pose
Yeah.
yoga. For people interested in the topic, that was just a little a dash of what more there is to learn about somatic healing. So if you'd like to contact Marina directly, how can they do so?
They can contact me through Instagram, Marina Savitz 1111, or maybe through my email, thrivewithmarina.com. LinkedIn as well, Marina Savitz Baines. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you
and
so much.
also through you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I really wish that these subjects become normal to us, and that we all can involve more with expressing who truly we are safely. So, and we grow our humanity that way, and our relationships. It's a beautiful way to exist, really, to be human.
More to come, that is
Yes.
for sure. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you, Casey.
And that brings us to the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.